have a special guest here today. As you can see, this, my friend, is the next generation. The next generation in media. This is Magical Majesty. Hi, Majesty.
Hi.
Now, for those who don't know, Majesty is the youngest media personality to be hired on a radio station. Majesty, how does that feel?
It feels exciting. Because you're like the youngest one there. And
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a lot of treatment.
Take a look at this evil, wicked woman right here. That's 38-year-old Jessica Upton. She's a resident of Douglasville, Georgia, just west of Atlanta, but she's from Troy, New York, and she has a 7-year-old daughter. This is her after she was tackled to the ground by Good Samaritans and hauled off to jail where they shall lock her up and throw away the key. Moments before she ran away, she intentionally drove her car into a lake. She loves Lake Lanier in Georgia, but too bad she didn't drive in there because there's no way she would have made it out. Instead, she drove 3 hours away from Atlanta to a lake in Ventura, Tennessee. She told her daughter who was with her that she was driving to her mother's house in New York, so what she did next is hard to understand, but when you're dealing with a toxic mother, anything goes. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
You can swim in what, 8 feet? Go ahead, girl.
8 feet.
Go, Tinky. Her first year here, she was only about a year old, and we had her in a ring in the pool. And I turned around for 2 seconds, and I turned back around, and she was feet up in the air, head down in the pool. I dove in, flipped the baby over. She was fine. She was a breastfed baby. She knew how to hold her breath. She wasn't choking.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Jessica was living it up on a girls' trip with her best friend to South Beach, Miami, where she went to the club, got on a party bus, went to a yacht party, and did a whole lot of drinking. And that right there should be the last time that she's free to do any of that. On Wednesday, September 27th, 2023, her daughter, who should have been in school, she was with Jessica, supposedly on their way to New York. According to the 7-year-old, she had been acting weird for a couple of days. The 38-year-old mother drove up 75 North in Atlanta, crossed into Tennessee just after Dalton, Georgia. She continued through Chattanooga, Cleveland, Charleston, and Athens, Tennessee, stopped at a car wash where she threw away an iPad, cell phone, and clothes. Jessica then drove to Tellico Lake in Tennessee, where she pulled up to Sea Ray, where there's a security guard shack. You're supposed to stop there before entering, but Jessica ignored the stop and barged in. She was drinking and smoking Mary, blowing it in her daughter's face, and even made her daughter drink twisted tea. Witnesses saw her drive down to the lake. She took her daughter out of the car, pulled her into the lake, and tried to hold her down underwater. When witnesses realized what she was doing, they quickly ran over to her and had to fight her off her daughter. Jessica then ran away, jumped back into the car, then drove towards a nearby boat. Then she placed her foot on the gas and drove really fast, about 80 miles per hour, into the lake and tried to sink her car. Her driver's side window was already rolled down, so she escaped the car that was sinking through the window. Then she started swimming towards the shore. She got back to the shore where she tried to run away, but one of the employees ran after her, tackled her down to the ground, and they held her there until the police showed up. When officers got on the scene, they hauled her off to jail, where they took this picture here. She's smiling like the big moron she is, and they charged her with a bunch of charges. The most serious, attempted first-degree murder. Of course, DCF took her daughter. She was placed with relatives in Metro Atlanta. Police confirmed they spoke to the daughter the next day over the phone and said the little girl was doing well.
First tonight, only on 11 Alive, new details about an Atlanta woman accused of trying to drown her own child in a Tennessee lake.
Tonight, Jessica Upton is behind bars, charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and DUI. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn has been digging into the case and just hours ago spoke to the man Upton is living with here in Atlanta.
and unthinkable crime.
I don't know what possibly could have happened that would make him want to do this.
Police say Jessica Upton drove to Vonore, Tennessee, about a 3-hour trip from Atlanta on Wednesday with her 7-year-old daughter. They ended up here at Lake Tellico, where Upton is accused of driving through a security gate at the Sea Ray Boat Company. Witnesses telling police she rolled all the windows up and was smoking marijuana while blowing it into the child's face and making her drink twisted tea before Upton and the 7-year-old ended up in the lake. Witnesses describing the horrific scene telling police, quote, that while in the lake, she was actively holding the child underwater and they had to forcefully get the child away.
She loves her daughter. I just can't imagine her doing anything to her daughter. She would kill for her daughter.
Witnesses say after pulling the child from the mother's hands, Upton ended up driving her car into the lake. A witness capturing the car sinking near the marina.
I can't remotely imagine her trying to take down with her.
Fortunately, mom and child are alive. As for any signs of violence leading up to this,
No. No, not even remotely. She loves her daughter. She would do anything for her daughter. I can't imagine what made her want to do something like that.
Now, Upton did manage to climb out of her car as it was sinking. She swam to shore where she was tackled and quickly taken into custody.
Cody, it's really difficult to imagine the trauma for this little girl. Do we know how she's doing?
Yeah, only 7 years old. We'll see how she's doing in the future. But we know she's back now with relatives here in Metro Atlanta. I also want to add that she told police during her interview she was being taken to her grandma's in New York but never made it. She also told police that they stopped at a car wash before they got to that lake where her mom threw her iPad, her phone, and her clothes out of the vehicle into the trash can. She told them, she doesn't know why she did this, but told them their mom been acting weird for a couple of days. But I mean, the man I talked to didn't want to be identified who she lives with. The mom said she must have just snapped.
Yeah, such a bizarre story, but glad to hear that the little girl's okay.
She's okay.
Emotionally, probably not, and
Right.
I'm sure they're gonna still navigate through all of that.
Yeah.
All right, Cody, thanks a lot. We really appreciate that.
That man you heard speaking was a man that Jessica had been staying with for the past 4 months. He said he just saw her earlier that week and nothing appeared out of the ordinary. He said Jessica loved her daughter and wasn't aware of any disputes. He suggested she may have been given bad drugs or something was put in her food. Honestly, I don't want to hear it. All I want to see is this dirty pelican locked up for life. Yes, put this lip-biting animal in a cage and leave her there forever. And there should be no contact with her daughter until she's 18. From then, she can decide for herself if she wants to be in contact with her mother. Now, I have to tell the truth. I noticed one thing about Jessica. She's always looking for attention, and she's been running around Atlanta trying to use her daughter to get in higher circles. There is no reason why she should have her daughter hosting some radio show at 7 years old in the 2nd grade, a public radio show on a station geared towards adults. I mean, what information can you expect from a 7-year-old? No, instead of having this girl all over the place doing interviews, she should be in school and being trained by her mother on how to be a young lady. Teach her how to sit properly and how to conduct herself. Not on camera or on the radio trying to make her a child star for her mother's benefit. And then these black women propping her up, including the one who hired her at the radio station. Black women propping up this little girl, lying to her, telling her that she's got talent when she should be at home and at school being a little girl. And we all know, if this was a top guy in Atlanta media propping this little girl up, the sisterhood would have been complaining about why they're giving her this opportunity, or complaining about colorism in the urban space, when honestly, these spaces are so sick at this point, no kid should be involved at all. Jessica is a horrible mother. She loved acting like she was a plug and trying to sell out her own daughter. I do not trust her to ever be around her daughter, ever again. This woman is a disgusting junkie, obviously with serious problems. Police believe that she planned this. Maybe she thought she was going to delete her daughter first and then delete herself, but none of that went the way she planned thanks to the witnesses at the lake. And this twisted tea that she was giving to her daughter, it's a brewed black tea made with whiskey and a lemon flavor. Right now, Jessica is still in jail, and that's where she should stay. They need to go ahead and send her down that road. Can you imagine what her daughter was going through and what she's still going through now? And I wonder, where is her father? Is that the family that she's down with in Georgia? Because Jessica is from New York and her family is still up there too. So I wonder if the daughter is with her father's family, or what family is the daughter living with now in Georgia. Jessica is definitely the worst mother in America this week. The smile on her face is disgusting, especially after she did what she did to her own daughter. And she's such a coward. If you want to go, fine, but leave the daughter alone. That's why I say they need to convict Jessica and eventually take her on a field trip to Lake Lanier. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this story below in the comments. Special thank you to Carrie K. I appreciate you for all of your support, as well as all the ladies that support the channel, including my sisters Tiffany, Roxana, and Rose, as well as the fellas Jason P, MR Lessons, Bruce, Dark Power, and Daniel. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.
I want people to know who I am, and I want to make a lot of money.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all of this. I'm here for this young entrepreneur, this media personality. I love it. The next generation needs media personalities like Majesty. So you need to check out her show on what radio station?
WQEB 97.3.